All right.
All right.
Now
Sweet.
onto what we must talk about.
What must we talk about?
The Game of the Thrones.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That actually,
there was another episode this week, guys.
Yeah, there was another episode, and I can say, definite step up. From
Massive step up.
Massive step up. Not necessarily a massive step up in storytelling, but
No.
certainly was a kick-ass episode to watch. Because holy shit, it's like we're at that point now where they're like, that thing that you kind of hoped you'd see from season 1, where it's like her with an army of Dothraki riding dragons. It's like, here you go, cats. It's cash-in time.
This was probably one of the most satisfying episodes of Game of Thrones I've ever seen.
And the thing that I love about the whole dragon deal, we're just going to cut straight to the dragon battle.
Yeah,
obviously, nothing else happened in the episode.
I have to say, I have to shit on it just a little bit there. I've been waiting this whole time for Arya to come back home to Winterfell and reunite with her, blah blah blah, and they weren't even trying with those scenes. It's like she shows up, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, turn her away. It's not even enough of a thing for her to struggle a little bit to get in there or anything like that. It's like either just have Sansa meet her at the gate, hey, or have an actual struggle. Instead, it's like these guys kind of don't want her to come in for a second and then sit here. And then she goes away, and then
they needed to fill some space.
Yeah, they needed to fill
oh
some
my
space.
god, this episode's only 40 minutes long.
Well, that's the funny thing is that like you can see there the seeds there of like it would be funny if she shows up, but like no one believes that she's Arya Stark, and that becomes a thing, and then eventually, so there's the seed there, the intention of like making that an actual complication, making it intriguing. That's the kind of seed that could bear fruit into an actually interesting sequence where say she gets arrested or turned away or she kills someone. And therefore, then all of a sudden the soldiers of Winterfell are deployed to go and chase her down or something, and then it was never written, or they didn't quite know how to do it, or it was, and then it eventually became edited down to a scene that does nothing but just delay the inevitability of them meeting, and
you
you're
get
like,
a bunch of cockneyed guys saying "fuck off."
Yes, we like to use the F word on occasion.
Fuck off, governor.
Exactly.
I did before we get to the dragons, because I know you want to get to the dragons. I've spent a lot of time on planes and a lot of time bored, and I have the entire series on my iBooks, so I've started reading it again, and I found it really interesting. I've never watched the first 4 seasons of the show because I just read the books and I was like, I'll just pick up where everyone else is, and I started watching it. So I don't know what types of things they've changed in the earlier parts of the show.
You literally haven't watched the first 5 seasons of the show?
No.
Really?
Why would I?
I don't know, Robin, because
it's
why not watch
No,
it?
the first 4 seasons I haven't watched.
Okay.
I watched
Really?
5, 6, and now I started 7. Yeah.
That's weird.
What?
I've read the books. I know everything that's going to happen.
but I've
still.
also read the books, and I've seen all of the episodes.
No. I don't like old TV. It's boring. It's like the production's shitty and it looks boring. I don't want to watch it.
Pretty good.
Anyway, no.
It's
Fuck that.
pretty
Anyway,
good.
you guys are missing the point. The point is that
It's a
in
good
the books,
show.
something
you
that
missed the
confused me,
heyday of the
you can
show.
whatever. Who gives a shit? I can watch seasons 2 and 3 again later, where the good stuff happens. So
the first season's pretty darned good.
all right, fine, whatever, guys. Fuck, I'll watch them. Okay,
Watch the
you guys are
fucking
missing
thing
the
is what
point.
we're saying.
My point is,
Yeah,
during
go.
this episode, Littlefinger gives Bran the knife that was supposed to kill him.
Yes.
And when Bran asks him, "Do you know who this belongs to?" he says no, but he knows because it was his knife. It was his knife the whole thing that.
Do you want the whole explanation?
Yeah, like why is he is lying to, in the show they didn't change that, right?
Well, no, in the show they fucking like excise half of that.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's stupid. And I think it's just like for economy of space, at the
Okay.
time
I
or
don't think
whatever.
that was his knife.
But
in
yeah,
the show,
so
and I've not
Really?
no,
so.
he does state that it was his knife in the
okay.
show. Because the important thing about the knife that they keep in the show that works is that Littlefinger says, "Yes, it was mine until I lost it in a wager to Tyrion Lannister."
Exactly.
Which leads to Tyrion being arrested.
Exactly.
Which leads to more
All
war
of the
and-
shenanigans, yeah.
However, it's in the books. It's heavily implied yet never stated that yes, the knife was lost. It was no longer Littlefinger's, but it was in the armory of someone very rich. Who is that rich person? It was King Robert. Who paid the Catspaw to go kill Bran? It was Joffrey.
Right.
And they never stated in the show, but it's heavily implied in the books when Joffrey gets his Valyrian steel sword. They're like, "Ooh, you have this Valyrian steel sword. Isn't that cool?" He's like, "I'm familiar with it." And then Tyrion has an internal monologue where he's like, "Motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
Like, you piece of shit."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's heavily implied it was Joffrey that paid off the guy to do the thing so he could impress his dad, his fake dad.
Cool. Cool.
Dragons. You
Dragons.
guys. That scene was fucking
I have to say,
awesome.
I have to say that scene that sequence was pretty goddamn impressive, and I don't mean impressive just by this. You know, the early battles in the show. The one thing I can say about some of the earlier seasons, I'm not sure exactly where you picked up, but some of their big battles in the early season, you know, that they would hype up prior to it, like it's the Battle of Blackwater. It's about just looked like TV. They were just like cutting to people on tiny sets and then cutting to big wides that were done in CGI, and there's no connection between the two things whatsoever, that are all just big CGI vistas. You know, felt very small, very TV. And then that all changed with like the hard home battle with
which was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and that was the first like fully cinematically realized battle where there's not like cutting to people on tiny sets and cutting back to big ridiculous CGI wides that have no connection to it. It was like an actually cinematically executed battle that felt visceral and real, where you're moving through it and all
and
that.
Then they changed the game with the Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards was fantastic again.
Awesome.
And this was yet another pretty amazing step forward in that this felt it was, you know, wonderful visual storytelling, much better than Dunkirk, which sucked.
I didn't see it.
But an actual visual story being told. Take that, fucking Christopher Nolan. That's how you tell a story, with pictures.
The what's-his-head semi-anonymous guy who directed this episode of Game of Thrones is a better visual storyteller than you, Christopher Nolan.
Fun fact about this guy. This is his first episode of Game of Thrones he directed, and he's most famous for directing a bunch of episodes of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He was American. I noticed that in the special features. But here was one thing that was amazing, is how much effective practical effects were integrated seamlessly with the digital stuff. There's a one shot where you're above the dragon. That shot where you're above the dragon looking down as the fire gets rained down on all the people who are fleeing it was pretty extraordinary. It was it was a kind of awe-inspiring thing. And then if you watch the special features, you realize, oh, they really did blow up like a whole road's worth of shit while shooting from a cable cam above it, and then added the dragon in between.
That's so cool.
Which is pretty amazing. And then, this is my favorite part, is one of my favorite moments, is like there's a moment where when the dragon first like comes and breaks through the line, where like you see this shot, and I literally said it out loud, but like Kara, my girlfriend, was so nervous the whole time, she actually put her hand over my mouth. But I said, like, I think they did like 20 full body burns there, because you just see like all these guys running on fire at the same time, and like a body burn's like a hard thing, like it's a dangerous thing to pull off, and it seemed like there were like 20 guys on fire. So I said out loud, like, I think we're like 20 full body burns in that shot, and she covered my mouth. And then we watched the special features afterwards, and they spent like 5 minutes talking about, we decided to do the most full body burns of any shot ever in movies.
Ever in movies?
And literally they set 20 guys on 20 stuntmen fully on fire. And that was the shot.
The overhead one.
The overhead shot. You see all of them burning. And and the thing is, it fucking works. It's amazing. You really can. You like in the middle of the episode, in all of that action, you see it with such clarity. That's the shot right there. You see with such, once it's filled in with the background and everything, you see with such clarity like 20 real dudes on fucking fire staggering around.
That's
and
incredible.
So if you were to ask ahead of time, okay, what are you going to do as a big thing when a dragon finally gets into battle for the first time in this whole show? What are you going to do? The biggest body burn stunt in the history of cinema.
That's right.
It's history of cinema. It's just a long history of body burns.
Yes. And that was pretty extraordinary. But it was still full of all the usual dumb stuff now that doesn't quite make sense, like Daenerys deciding to land in the middle of an active battle and just stand there on the ground, and all sorts of other stuff. It was just like, it was just the same bullshit. But up until that point, and the fucking Dothraki like actually doing cool shit, you know, like thus far they've just been eyeliner, but now it's just like an addition to eyeliner, like them
they
doing
also murder,
but the sweet ass horse stunts where they're like standing on their horses,
and the battle cry. We heard that battle cry from Dothraki. I don't think so.
Yeah. So one thing I do want to say on the body burn here as well, I think it's mentioned in the special features or whatever. But not only are they all on fire, they're all holding their breath. Because if they were to breathe in, it would scorch their airways.
Oh,
like,
that's all body burns. Yeah, that's all body burns.
But like, just think about that. Just being on fire, like actually on fire, and you have to hold your breath. And if someone knocks into you and you accidentally take a breath, you're fucking done.
Well, that's the thing is like that's why it's one of the many reasons why body burns are such a difficult stunt to pull off, and why they don't do them very much anymore, and they get replaced by CGI is because it's like it is a dangerous thing to pull off, and it's hard. And they did 20 of them at the same time, which is pretty sweet.
Not one of those guys took a breath.
Yeah, and that's why if you watch, they actually show the raw footage, and like when you're doing a body burn, you have someone who's counting it down, so because you can only burn for like 10 seconds, that's why it's often in slow motion, but it's like, and then you can hear a guy like 10, 9, 8, 7, and when it gets to 0, go, and they rush in and they extinguish. But they had to rush in and extinguish 20 on fire guys at the exact same time.
Oh my god.
So it's pretty sweet.
That
pretty fucking insane.
The moment, like I got I don't remember the last time I was watching anything.
Hold on. You see one guy they missed? The one guy who's supposed to be on fire, who's not on fire. You'll see it in the overhead. You'll see him on the bottom left.
And he's just going,
it's like, no. That
guy thinks he's on fire maybe and should be on fire, but isn't. Damn
you guys, I'm not on fire. I'm not going to get paid for this. Like you just hear the director, you're not getting paid for this, Keith. Fuck you.
Oh, no.
That's really funny now. I don't remember the last time I was watching anything. Maybe when when episode 7 just first started, and I was like, this is a Star Wars movie, where like something fucking took my breath away. But that moment where she breaks through the clouds on the dragon and just like starts coming towards them, I was like, oh god, yes, yes, my entire life has been worth it for this moment.
Well, like, that was just so fucking good, and then you had no idea how good it was going to get.
Right.
However, one thing I like that really bugged me was like, so Tyrion, he's on the cliff or whatever, and the Dothraki guy is standing next to him. He's like, your people can't fight. I'm like, you fucking try fighting a dragon, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you guys gave the fuck up instead of fighting a dragon, you jackass.
Do you remember when they had that big line of spears that like was gutting your fucking horses, and then the only reason you got through was because you have a fucking dragon? Like, fuck you,
it's
man.
It's about time she used that nuke, though. She's been sitting on that thing for a long ass time.
Yeah.
Another thing, by the way, the gif of Tyrion saying, you fucking idiot, is going to be used for the rest of my life.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to use that for the rest of my life.
That's great.
But one thing that, so again, I'm rereading the books. I'm not super far into it, but you start picking up details that you didn't necessarily think about beforehand. And one thing that I picked up on was when Bran first falls, he falls into a coma. And during the coma is the first time he meets the Three-Eyed Raven. And the Three-Eyed Raven tells him to fly, like learn how to fly. And during that process of learning how to fly, he goes and he sees his father in the Red Keep being the Hand. He sees he sees shadows around him. He sees his mother. He sees shadows around his family. And then he goes east or west. He goes to the Shadowlands of Asai. And he sees dragons. So there are other fucking dragons in the book, like legit alive, existing, doing shit. There are other dragons around, and I'm wondering whether that's something that they're just gonna drop off out of the movies, out of the series, because there's no reason to bring them in. But that creates a lot of potential, because there's stuff I remember from the later books, that people are trying to find ways of controlling dragons, or that they're talking about there being other dragons out there, and that aspect of it to me was really fascinating. That's just kind of like a throwaway real early in the first book, and I was like, wait a second, that's a big fucking deal, because everyone is constantly talking about how there are no dragons, and then there's only these 3 dragons.
One of my favorite little memes from the last week or so was someone showing a picture of Bran and saying Bran is your shitty little cousin who just discovered weed.
Someone posted this and I really fucking love it. Bran is your shitty little cousin who first just discovered that he can be high at your family reunion because he ate edibles and he can't smell it, and he thinks no one noticed.
The best version of that, though, to me, was they had Bran, and then they had the choose your response from a video game, like RPGs, where you get to pick your response, which one's good, which one's evil, and then it was the first one was good, explain who you are and what the three-eyed raven is, and it's like, you know, neutral, like, you know, I've seen that you've been through a lot of hardships and I feel for you. And then it's like evil or like chaotic or just like whatever, creepy, and it was like, I watched you get raped and it must have sucked. Like, why did you choose to say that? That was the wrong thing to say.
That was
saying I watched you get raped is like the worst fucking thing you can tell someone. That makes no fucking sense.
Not only that, but you were beautiful.
Creepy guy. There's also a moment in this episode where like you could just see it on Sansa's face. She's like, I'm normal still. Yeah. It's like Bran came back a fucking like
weird
farseer.
Yes.
And Arya came back a goddamn
assassin. So my favorite was actually, it's like, later on she's very much like, what the fuck is going on here? Like during the Brienne fight or whatever. But prior to that, when they're all like you know, near the tree, and like she's like, Bran sees visions now.
Yeah, they respond her like explanation.
God damn it, I have to explain this to everyone.
He sees things.
Bran sees shit now. I don't know.
I don't know.
He's gonna talk weird.
Arya, at least you came back normal.
I also don't understand. Cool. Yeah, how is there any confusion in explaining that shit when there are fucking dragons? If you can just accept the fact that there are dragons in the world, I think if someone told you like, I can kind of disassociate my spirit from my body and see the past.
Yeah, or well, you know that there aren't dragons now, but people already take that shit seriously now.
Well, the thing is just like we have
the Earth is flat.
What I just love the Daenerys. That's right. But I'd love the Daenerys thing of when she's told that they're white. She's like, White Walkers, ridiculous. Let me get on my dragon. Like, all right.
I was about to say the same thing.
That's so fucking good. That and also the whole like, I've got something to show you, and it's not my dick.
Oh yeah, Oh, I was just.
But soon enough, it will be.
That entire scene, by the way, was
said that out loud.
Garbage.
As soon as like, I have something I want to show you, I had my dick, and then you can keep doing it the whole scene. It's like, there's one more thing down here. My dick.
Look a little further. It's my dick.
And then as soon as they left the cave, it was once my girlfriend was completely sick and tired of it. As soon as they left the cave, I was like, he got her pregnant. He got her so pregnant.
The whole like one more thing, and just like keep like let's make more like geographically confusing left turns in this cave.
I would love to do a parody version where it turns out like he is trying to show her his dick in there the whole time, but she just keeps accidentally seeing cave paintings. I have something to show you, and then she's like, cave paintings, right? Cave paintings. And it's like, but in this other darker chamber, let's have something else. And he's pulling out his dick, and she's like, dragon glass, right? Dragon glass. Totally.
Oh God, is it really that black? I mean, yeah, dragon glass. I swear it's not frostbitten. And then she
so brittle.
Again, one of those things where things just have to move so quickly, considering we're more than halfway through this season. And there's only 3 episodes left. Things have to move so fucking quickly. She went from like, fuck you and your White Walkers. Like, oh my God, these cave paintings. There must have been White Walkers.
It's like
bend the knee and suck my dick.
It was the Game of Thrones ancient fantasy world equivalent of him like just Google imaging searching White Walkers to say no. It's like, those aren't real. Wait, hold on a second. See,
it's real.
I thought they didn't have a good meet cute, man. I would have expected Jon Snow and his aunt to have a better meet cute. Well, we have 3 episodes to wrap up the War of the Seven Kingdoms. So, and then the entirety of next season will just be like White Walkers.
Yeah. Well, I loved watching the wrap up also to that episode, because one of the 2 creator guys was just like, you know, they're trying to negotiate all of these things so they can end up on the same side. Plus, they're dealing with this new complication of them being so attracted to each other. And I'm like, really? Was that there?
Which part of their interactions make them so attracted to each other? Did you think that
just putting them in a cave would do that? Is that...
Well, and like, that's the fucking thing. Like, I was telling this to Cliff. Like, every time there's those, like, after the episode things that just, like, roll afterwards... like, even if it's an episode I like, I'm still like, oh, fuck you guys. Like, it like plummets my interest in everything. Where it's like, and then,
well, no, previously the guys have talked, David Benoff and DB Weiss, I think that's how their names are. Yeah, previously they talked before and sounded kind of dumb, but since the show was good at one point a while ago, you'd assume that there must be something there beyond their words. But now that they're out of book to adapt, and it's all them, they've written every single one of these episodes, sole writing credit between these guys on these episodes right now off this rough outline. It's like, no, they were just kind of dumb the whole time.
Yeah. There was one moment in this episode where I felt like it was Game of Thrones from like 2 seasons ago. And that was when they're on the beach again, just fucking let's just rush through all this setup, and it's like Theon comes back.
Thank God John's on the beach already to meet him.
He happens to fucking be there. Yeah. It's like, oh man, we need to have Jon and Theon meet. Like, well, why don't they just meet at Dragonstone? Well, Theon just got like he just was a pussy. Like, oh, fuck it, whatever. Just have a boat show up and throw him
but
on there.
that was the second draft. The first draft was Jon was just standing on the beach, and then Theon just
The only reason why I don't kill you right now is because of what you did for Sansa.
By the way, what's up there?
It hurts. Giant seagulls.
The eagles are coming.
Giant seagulls, bullshit. Those don't exist.
Those don't exist.
Let's go in this cave here. We got some paintings of giant seagulls.
There's something I must show you in this cave.
1 second. Let me finish drawing this giant seagull.
I do actually really want the version of that where Jon Snow's in there just like carving it real quick.
By the way, see, that would be something much more akin to the original Game of Thrones. Like if he had to the book Game of Thrones, he would have shown her into the cave, shown her all of those cave drawings or whatever, and she would have been like, "Oh, I guess there really are White Walkers." And then she would have left, and then like he would have turned to the Onion Knight, and he was like, "She bought it. She assumed that those are like that's actually like you give something, you imbue something with some sort of mystical significance, only to then immediately undercut it."
You don't understand. At this point, Jon Snow is just the misunderstood prophet king.
Yes, exactly.
And he must continue being the misunderstood prophet king.
I knew there was a reason they introduced Carvey McCarverson just the last episode there. Right. He's the guy who's good at carving things at rocks.
Exactly.
Oh God. Okay. The natural extension of the my dick thing is like it's like all right, here's all the dragon glass. Now look at these cool carvings and White Walkers and my dick.
This is like Jon Snow, the huge log carved into. The children.
What's that?
I am the prince who was promised.
What's that? You ask. It's the prophecy about the brooding prince with black curly hair and a big old dick. You didn't hear that prophecy? It's an ancient. Oh well, it's a very ancient prophecy.
Look how big that dick is. They're children of the forest dancing on it. What I was gonna say, the moment that actually felt like it could have come from a couple seasons ago, which was like something that felt actually satisfying to at least a small degree, was when Daenerys asked Jon for his opinion on what she should do at that moment, and I was like, oh, this makes a little bit of sense. Like, this is probably how they would make some sort of relationship that's built on trust and mutual respect.
And like, them achieving their goals.
And
not standing in caves.
Each other. Right. Not just standing in caves, like mildly talking about his dick. Yeah. Anyway.
I have something to show you.